Traders here. Nathan here together trading. Another weekly update, guys. Now, let's start with the DXY, one of the most important charts. And as you can see here on the daily, guys, we've got a lovely couple of rejections off the 20s. I think it's 2017 lows. Am I correct in saying that? Yes, I am. Sorry, let me get rid of this line here. So we got nice rejection here of the 2017 lows, which is a pretty significant area. Got this lovely, like, three pattern they're kind of dojis, kind of not. So I'm just going to call them indecision candles, guys. So everyone's got different names for them. I'm going to call them pure indecision candles. Now, when these sort of candles are laid on top of a very big area of significance, but this is the 2017 lows, this means a lot more than just a random couple of dojis in any sort of pattern. So as you can see, we've got the three patterns here, 1, 2, 3, and then today's pattern looks like we are coming down. So we are going up, rocketing. Now, my original idea was we're going to get some sort of a test here before coming back up. Now, we may still see them levels. Yes, we may see this sort of level here as boom, 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 sort of like a liquidity move here before dumping lower and then dumping here and then catapulting up. Oh, guys, we may not get it at all. This may be gone, but it doesn't matter because you know what our views are. Our views are bullish dollar, mate. We are very bullish dollar, so it doesn't really matter. So this is what I can see here. Next target for me, guys, realistically, this sort of week. Next target, if we can break above here, next target is 1300. That is the next target, the next area of significance, guys. But the highs here will be the first one to break, guys. This is what I'm seeing this week. And macro data wise, I haven't actually checked, to be honest with you guys. I'm sort of winging it today, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't really planned today's video as much as I usually do. So everything you're seeing, I basically see for myself. Obviously, I'd quickly go over the charts, obviously, but I haven't really checked much for this, guys. So let's have a quick butchers. So ECB members are speaking earlier, and they were relatively dovish. I don't know if you see ECB come off. We've seen a little bit off. See dollar come on a little bit as well. That's really on the back slightly of this ECB members talking. They were pretty dovish on the speech as well. So that dropped euro down whilst giving USD a boost as we saw in the charts. Now today we got Bank of England member talking. We've got the German president talking. The German German president talking. We've got another FOMC member talking. ECB. A lot of flip-flopping, it looks like, today. No ridiculous news, just sort of reiterating news, shall we say. Tomorrow we got, what's decent, what's half decent here? In Japanese retail sales, I suppose. German CPI, I mean, Spanish CPI will be interesting, I suppose, but nothing's to be market movers. Consumer confidence definitely for the US dollar. Wednesday, or Chinese manufacturing PMI. That'd be very important. Very important. Pound GDP. Most probably already priced it, to be honest. So if it's going to be a hit or a miss. German unemployment, that'd be a big one. European CPI. Non-farm pay, the ADP non-farm payroll, which is the most important one, really, is the one on Friday. Canadian GDP, USD pending home. Which isn't really much movement, to be honest with you. Japanese manufacturing outlook, non-manufacturing outlook. Another PMI from China. We've got a lot of news this week. There's a lot of news. German PMI, pound PMI, initial jobless claim. Bank of England speech again on Thursday evening. Friday we have NFP, big one, and the ECB member talking. Guys, we've got quite a lot of macro data. There's quite a lot of volatility going on this week. This should give us some real insight what's going on, because I know we've seen a bit of moving dollar, but we still don't know what's really going on into the future, do we, guys? So maybe this will give us a bit more insight into how much this recovery, into stagflation, into this inflation, into this deflation, into this sort of this big confusion of just where we stand in an economical growth environment and inflation environment, guys. So this will definitely give us a lot more of an insight, guys. We've got CPI from a lot of countries. We've got manufacturing PMI, which is very big on growth, very big growth indicator as well. So this week will give us a lot of insight. So I expect a lot of flip-flopping, a lot. But anyway, going back to where we were, King dollar. Go and get to our area right here. As I said to you earlier, I don't know. As I said to you earlier, I don't really know whether this is going to reject here and come back down to touch this sort of level that I wanted to do, or whether it's going to up from here, because we have already touched there a few times. So where we're snapping again, I don't know. We could just go up and away from here, guys. But as I keep saying to you, I'm still bullish dollar. Still very, 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 very bullish dollar. And the price action looks even more bullish, guys. Look at it. Look at that retrace. Didn't even retrace much at all. Straight back up. It's fucking so bullish. So that's my views of the DXY. Nothing much changed for the last time we spoke, guys. I'll talk about more intraday levels. So next target on intraday will be here. If we don't get the rejection here, we may get something like this. It's if we don't get the level down here touch, which I was talking about. And then back up here, something like that. If we get the rejection off this level here. Not much to talk about, really, guys. Just bullish. Not much to talk about. I mean, I've reiterated this multiple times in my previous videos. Now we're just really same story with the dollar here, looking even cleaner. It's ready to break out the zone. Once we break out of these highs here, guys, we are up and away, which will be happening. It's just a matter of time. And maybe the catalyst needed, maybe could be this macro data this week. We get some good macro data, some good NFP numbers. We could see this level absolutely blow through, guys. But it's the same story. Pretty bullish. In fact, very bullish, sorry. Let me reiterate. Euro USD looks very bearish, the complete opposite. Very, very, very bearish here, guys. So virtually the complete opposite of the DXY here. So nice clean break here. Expected this week to maybe potentially break the lows this week, potentially. But the same story with flipped, guys. Same story. It's looking so bearish. Really, really, really bearish. Not too sure how I feel about this move. Obviously, you know, on both best spectrums. I reckon we can still come back, maybe to mitigate this kind of price here, or even a similar story to what I was saying on the DXY. Maybe we could come back and even touch this level here. As you can see, I pointed out to the same level here on the Euro USD as I did with the DXY. So maybe we do need to come back and touch this area here before making our next leg lower. But the story looking very, very, very similar. Opposite Euro to USD, clearly. Very bearish Euro and very bullish dollar. I do this every time. I apologize every time. Anyway, next we'll look at gold, guys. We'll look at gold. I come short on one of my longs earlier. Actually, I thought I was gonna touch 97.40, but didn't. We rejected of 85, which just telling me how bearish gold really is. And Sorry, one thing I want to look up for gold. Sorry. Apologies. I apologize. Is the yield. I found this out over the weekend. Let's have a look at this. This to me wants to come down. Now, if the bond yield market wants to come down, that tells me risk will be somewhat capped and muted. So if this idea does play out, which it looks so far so good, if it does play out, it's probably more of a move the last whole week. So potentially this week we may have a little bit of risk off, or maybe risk muted potentially. And with that in mind, with the yields coming down, this should give gold the push it needs, but I can't really see it too much. I mean, the climbs upside is very high, but its pattern here looks very similar to here. I mean, it looks like it was completely roll over, to be completely honest. And I feel as if even though the bond yield market is going down, this is still going down. There is some heavy selling in gold. There is some heavy selling. Heavy selling. If we do come down here, I can expect gold to push up a little bit higher, but I still feel like gold's upside is somewhat restricted. I think the downside does favor this massively, especially with dollar coming back as well, especially. But all we can do is move from day to day, guys. And at the minute, gold's looking weak. If the bond yields do come off, as I said, we can look to coming up to these kind of levels here. We can, but I think all eyes on the bond yield market, as in the bond market, for any sort of gold catalyst for a move up. So at the minute, guys, I'm not sure. The bond yield market only wants to come down, so that would initially tell me that this wants to go up, but was so muted and was still stuck in a range. I only ever really looked for a long right at the bottom of the range, you know. Let's got oil. Oil's been non-stop recently. I can see oil coming off because there's one thing I do want to point over. If we get the where's the tips? Here we go. It's the inflation market. So tips is basically inflation protected bonds. Now, if we overlay this with oil, sorry, I overlaid over the wrong chart. Apologies. So what I'll do, I've overlaid over this is the 10-year yield market over the inflation expectation market. And there's one thing I want to point out to you guys, very important. Now, inflation expectations have always followed oil. So I flip around. Oil has always followed inflation expectations, and recently oil has overshot completely, which tells me oil has some catching up to do, because the bond market is usually correct in these kind of scenarios, guys. If you look over the past, it's been very accurate, very. And at the minute, it's just literally overshot completely. It's overshot completely, guys. And I know this is a bad example right now. Should I get the right example here? But usually, when the oil does overshoot, it tends to come back into the region of where the bond market is, guys. So I expect some oil dipping. Whether it's this week, whether it's next week, I'm not too sure, but I expect it to catch back up with the inflation expectations, guys. So I can see oil coming off for the next. Could be this week, could be next week. I'm not too sure, but let's have a look. Let's have a closer look at oil in itself. We can see it sort of looks like they want to slow down here, but we've had this a few times. But it's sort of here does look like it's slowing down. So you may get some form of dip coming up, but potentially this week. Wouldn't even mind having a little punt here, really, guys, just for the risk to reward and our views here at the minute. If we can get price come back up to here, have a nice punt down to someone like 70. Really nice risk to reward there. Come back up to sort of touch this 74.2 region. What am I chucking a nice short here, guys? Really nice one. Anyway, let's have a look at the emerging markets. Where's the emerging markets index? Here we go. As you can see, we're coming off here. We're a little top of that here. Personally, I think we've seen the top here. Things going to start to roll, especially with the strong dollar coming back, guys. A strong dollar is detrimental for the emerging market index. So I can see. I think the highs are already in, guys. Personally, I think the highs are here. We're already long USD ZAR. I wouldn't mind going along a few of the other ones, like the Mexican peso and the Brazilian peso as well. So yeah, emerging markets looking weak to me. Let's have a look at USD ZAR and the others. See if this can match up with how we're seeing. Yeah, looks bullish. That's a great trade. That was. We're still awaiting that. That was a really fantastic trade. But as you know, my views, man, I can see USD ZAR coming right back up to here, the 16.1 region, guys. That's my view. So we got a long way to go. A long way to go. So that's 13%. As I keep saying that, guys, a strong dollar is detrimental. It's so bad for emerging markets because of their very highly dollar-denominated debt. So a strong dollar, which we can see very clear in price action, is going to fuck these charts. So we need to make most of it, guys. Mexican peso. Oh, I should come back into region here. This wouldn't be bad buy at all. This would be a bad punt whatsoever. But somewhat, Mexican peso looks a little stronger than the ZAR, but the ZAR was very strong going into risk, so I can see why. But I've got the same view here. I reckon we could get back up to 21 easily. Easily. Same story here. The price action here, to be honest, is a bit. I mean, Brazil took a bit more of a hit than the others, but we're still in the region here. I can still see very similar price action. Here looks even better for the upside, really, to be completely honest. Oops. A lot better. But as you can see, guys, very simple story. Very simple story. You see, CAD looks pretty bullish here as well. We can get back up to here. Definitely. Definitely. Look, a nice little cup and handle sort of pattern here. Looks really healthy, actually. I like that. I like that a lot. Where's all USD? It's got all the other risk ones. Still pretty weak across the board here, isn't it? Not much going on here. Sort of ranging. What to talk about there? Is the deal looks like it wants to roll over to us. It looks a bit clearer. It's very weak there. Definitely still see this level coming to play. 0.668. Definitely still see that. Sort of healthy as fuck to me. SPX all-time highs. We didn't get that rejection which I wanted to the other week. Let me get a better one. Yeah, we didn't really get that. Was unfortunate. We didn't really get that. I mean, not much to talk about there. All-time highs. Seems like SP doesn't give a fuck about a strong dollar, doesn't really care. Pound looking very weak off the jump. I thought we were going to get a bit of move up here. We still might get that. We've got a lot of macro data this week, so we still might get this push up from the pound. I was expecting this last week, but no, we actually rejected straight off the 1.4 level, which is a very significant area as well. To be honest with you, I thought we were going to get a little cheeky breach, but no, we didn't, unfortunately, from the ECB meeting. Sorry, from the Bank of England meeting. But we got the Bank of England again, and we haven't sunk as much as the others. So I feel like there's still a little bit of life in the pound, still a little bit of life. So we may get some sort of move up here before dumping big time. But my sort of view, my sort of risk off views are still the same. They're a bit muted at the minute, only because we've seen S&P and the Nasdaq's at the all-time highs. So I'm thinking twice about my risk off play, but I'm still got to go for it, because price action is telling me the same thing. But the only thing that's worrying me a little bit as well, I haven't seen any sort of pump in Euro futures. Sorry, in the yen futures. So potentially the move that we might be seeing is just going to be a pure dollar move rather than a pure risk off move, which was changing my opinion a little bit, not too much, but yeah, I was expecting yen to give me a bit more oomph. I was expecting to reject off these lows here. Looks like we sort of broke this level here. I mean, all hope is not lost yet, but it's not looking amazing, to be honest, guys, is it? I mean, the last thing I think of is we were breaking these sort of lows here. The only other thing I think of, we're breaking the lows here. Might have to grab some liquidity here, potentially. Sorry, guys, making a right mess of this. My only other bit insight here is we may, yeah, as I just said, grab liquidity here, come and touch these low levels like the 2020 lows, very significant here. Maybe grab like there, maybe go to those sort of levels here before grabbing liquidity before moving up. But it's not looking amazing so far, is it? Let's be real. Don't forget, we're getting to a point now where central banks are talking about hiking rates next year. Macro data is coming back okay. I mean, yeah, instead of risk off, guys, I might be confused, and it could have been a strong dollar move, which is a little bit risk offy, but it's not the same. I mean, I'd like to see some sort of edging off the S&P 500. I'd like to see, I mean, I'd like to see some sort of capping in the Nasdaqs as well. We're not really seeing any of that, to be honest. Oh, that's what we're looking for. Sorry. Where's the Nasdaqs? NDX. Are we stupid? Let me try to find it. Apologies, guys. I mean, the only thing I can think of is we've got sort of breakout pattern here. This could end up being a sort of fake move for moving down, but I need some evidence before say such madness, you know. I need some sort of evidence first. So I'm not canceling my views, but I think it's gonna be more of a sort of a strong dollar move rather than a risk off move. So if we get some sort of fake move there, we still crashing down towards the end of the week, then yeah, then my views are still there. But at the minute, they're just it's a bit sticky, you know. So let's just get the rejection here, then I'll be a bit happier, you know. But across the board, I'm still seeing what I think. I mean, the emerging market index, which is looking very weak, so we could still see this sort of move here. It's got to be a little more patient because the Dow's still looking relatively weak as well. So maybe we should be a bit patient because the CAD looks bullish to me. Let's look at USD JPY. Looks bullish to me. Reflation trade. Still looks bullish. Reject off this little trend line here. Don't really agree with trend lines. I keep saying, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so guys, so maybe it's more of just a pure strong dollar move than risk off. But I mean, it's still early days. We've got the yields dropping, so let's just see. We'll have to play it sort of day by day, week by week, guys. It's very difficult to know what's going on. We're still in a guys. We're still in the state of not really knowing what's around the corner. I don't want to make some vast decisions of just guessing. I want some more evidence, guys. So I'm telling you what I can see. I hope this has helped. And let's get it, guys. Let's get it.